Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. If you are divorced or if you are divorcing and you have a child with an IEP, you have either run into this situation or you are about to run into this situation. And it is disagreeing with your co-parent about the IEP. And that is a big issue. Because, we all disagree with everybody all the time. It happens. A lot of times it's not a big deal. But when it comes to your child's IEP, it can become a huge, huge problem. So if you are in the process of a divorce, listen about what you can do to avoid this. If you are already divorced, then that's okay too. Listen of how can we remediate this situation? How can we move forward? Even though this is our reality now, how can we change our future? You've gone to the IEP. You're the one who goes to all the IEPs. Suddenly you guys are getting a divorce or you're divorced, and now your ex is at all the IEPs appearing as Mr. or Miss Mom, Dad of the Year. And you're like, that's totally BS, and everybody at this IEP table can see it. Yes, they can, it's true, but you gotta be the bigger person. Don't say nothing. Okay, so they're appearing there, and you're like, great, finally, getting the services I asked for. They don't want it. Or they don't come, and they find out, they go to the school, and they find out there's an IEP, and they're like, I don't want that, and they revoke it. If you are a school professional, an educator, you know that what I am saying is not far-fetched. Because when I talk to people in special ed departments, when I talk to people in California at the supple level, and they're like, divorcing parents. Because this is their reality. That is what happens. It's not an anomaly. It should be. It should be. So if you're watching this video and your friend is going through a divorce and their kid has an IEP, can you send this to them? I'm happy to talk with them. I love kids. I spent over 20 years as a school teacher. The last thing I want to do is see kids suffer because adults can't get along. Nobody likes that. Everyone hates that. We don't want that for our kids. So in California, you have joint legal custody. Actually, you guys have joint legal custody across the country. Some states are very specific and have you delineate, this person has religious legal custody. This person has educational rights. In California, it's just joint or sole. Doesn't mean you can't do something different. So when you're going through a divorce, usually people just default joint legal custody, joint physical custody. It's totally fine. But part of that legal custody are your ed rights. You have the right to enroll and unenroll in a school. You have the right to sign the IEP and revoke the IEP. You have these rights as your child's parent. And the other person has those rights too. So you cannot make unilateral decisions about your child's education without the other parent. Now, here's where it comes into play. This whole time while you were married, you've been signing all the paperwork, you've been making all the decisions, your spouse has not had a problem with it. Fine. The school's not like, oh, we need the other parent's signature on it. One signature is enough for them. It's when you're going through a divorce and the other person is like, actually, I'm not okay with this. This is where we have our problem. This is where the school's like, wait, we did all this work and they're not going to do it. They're fighting in this IEP meeting. Hold up. We are not going to get involved. If you don't know if you have legal custody or not, you got joint custody. If you're divorced and you're like, I'm not sure if we decided that means you got joint because you would have remembered. You would have remembered. The school, when you don't agree, the school's caught in the middle and they're like, oh no, you want to argue about your child and not let us know how to serve them? Fine. We got other kids to service. We have other things. Our special ed department is overloaded already. And if you two can't get your act together, it's certainly not our job. We are not MFTs. We don't do therapy like that. We're not attorneys. This isn't our job. They will not help you. They will let you sit there and stew in your conflict. And who is going to get hurt? They're not intentionally hurting your child. What can they do? Think about it. If both of you have legal rights and one person says one thing and the other person says the other, the school can't act. They can't implement that. They can't. You are either going to have to go to court, have the court decide who's got legal custody, or you guys are going to have to figure this out yourselves, or hire a coach or a mediator to figure this out. It's not impossible, but the school will not get involved. Don't ask them to. Don't ask them to take sides. Your job is to be professional. Your job is to be your child's advocate. That's it. You should treat, if you are in conflict with your ex, treat these IEPs like you would a court date, where you don't display emotion, you don't tell stories, you've got facts. You look at the data. That's how you have to behave in these meetings. Okay. I'm sorry. This is really near and dear to my heart. What's happening is your child is entitled to a free and appropriate public education, which the school is required to provide for them. But if you won't allow the school to provide that, they're off the hook. You are impeding that fate. You're impeding that. So, I guess technically the school district could take you to due process and have a court decide and that the IEP should be, enacted and activated. Do you think they want to spend their money on that? Don't expect them to. You will need to spend your money on getting this problem untangled. So here's what happens. People are afraid they're losing their child. As if because one parent is making these decisions about education, that somehow it means that they're not involved or they're not a good parent, and therefore they're losing access to their child. That could be true, but it also could not be true. It could be that that parent has been making those decisions all along, and they really understand the system, and they really are thinking about the best interest of the child, and it's their strengths. It might not be your strength to look at data, to talk to the IEP teams, to know what's happening, to organize therapy. That just might not be your strength. Or it could be, but you're just so out of practice because the other parent is doing it. It could also be that you are having disagreement, so fear, right? There's fear of I'm losing my kid, or this person's trying to control me through the IEP process, or the school thinks I'm a deadbeat. Don't worry about what them teachers think. Worry about what your kid thinks about you. Worry about what you think about yourself when you're on your bed at night and you can't fall asleep. Those are the things you need to worry about, not some teachers. Don't worry about them. Other reasons why parents disagree is just because I hate you. Oh, you want this? You can't have it. I hate you that much. Now, I would never say this out loud. I would never even get this to my conscious mind, but subconsciously, I hate you so much that I'm going to hurt our child so that you will hurt. If you're on the receiving end of that, you know it's true. You know it's true. When you're in these situations, here's what you need to do. You're divorced, you're in these situations. You've got to get on the same page. You've got to get on the same page. You've got to go find a neutral. You got to find somebody like me, somebody who's a neutral, who understands education and mediation and can help you guys get on the same page, can help you understand your interests. Instead of your position of just, I hate your guts, It's like, why? Oh, you're really afraid. Oh, you're actually not afraid you're losing your child. You're afraid that you look bad because you don't really know what's happening, or you're just worried about the stigma of a label on your child. You have to get to the underlying thing, and a mediator can really help you get there. Now, if you are going through a divorce, maybe you ask your partner for sole legal custody. Or maybe you ask your partner, can we have joint legal custody, but I have decision-making ability when it comes to education? Or I have tie-breaking ability, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like that. They're like, oh, no, I don't want to, nope, because he or she, they're just going to wait me out. And if I don't agree, then they're just going to get their way anyway. You have to stop and think, has this person, the decisions that they've made about your child, have they actively hurt your child when it comes to school? Is this person making decisions to really hurt your child? Because if they haven't done that in the past, it's not likely that they're going to do that in the future. So, people don't always like tie breaking. I was in a CLE, and let's continue legal education, and I was listening to a special ed attorney saying, hey, family lawyers, I really hate it when I see a divorce decree and it's joint legal custody. You guys have to figure out who's getting what. Because as a special education attorney, she runs into this problem all of the time. And then the kid can't get services. So, here's my wrap up for you. Wow, I'm sorry, I was on a soapbox. If you are divorced and you have joint legal custody, then find a neutral. Call me. My link is below. Call me. Let's set up a time. Let's mediate with your spouse and see if we can get on the same page about this IEP and what we actually agree on so that your child can get the services they need. If you are divorcing, think about legal custody. How can we assign legal custody, and who gets what parts of the custody? Maybe this person gets all of the religious rights, and maybe this person gets ed rights and medical rights, because usually if they're in special education, if it's severe enough, there's medical issues that go along there too. Have conversations and be honest. Don't attack. Don't attack. You can express your fear, I'm really afraid of this, without attacking your soon-to-be ex. All right, I'm going on too long. Listen, there's a link below. Let me help you. I don't have all the answers, and as a mediator, I don't make decisions for you. But what I promise you is, when you meet with me, we're going to keep your child in the center of things. The decisions we make are going to be about your child and really how your decisions impact their future. That's going to be our focus. And so I'm going to constantly redirect you. How will this decision impact your child? And really cause you to think about your actions and their direct impact on your child. And as you begin to think about this, you guys are going to make better decisions, because I have not yet met a parent who is sitting in a mediation pissed off at their soon-to-be ex who's like, Anne, screw my kid. Don't care. Not one. Not one. Your ex isn't that way either. So don't lose heart. Schedule a call. Let's talk.